Hi, this is Tracy. This is my week 2 screencast video about Unity. So in this week, we learn basic VR game design knowledge. In this week, this video contains 4 parts. The first one is to do an interactive object. The second one is to do a teleportation. The third one is to do a spatial UI. And the fourth one is to do a simple character interaction via UI button. All these steps are done in Unity core template. So during this week's class time, we've already tried some very simple VR skills and try to how to connect the VR with your computer, or what's the feeling to really use a controller and to try out the real VR equipment, which is super fun. But also we also encountered a lot of challenges, even just during the class time. Like for instance, we were supposed to finish 3 tasks, but at the end we only finished 1 because we have a lot of troubles like downloading more functions of Unity, or just to make the VR display the Unity screen successfully. Anyway, after that I still finished those tasks at home. So let's get started. Okay, so the first part is about to create an interactive cube. So as you can see right now, I've already created a cube, and after that, we need to add rigid body and to click kinematic and disable the gravity. After that, we also need to add a XR grab interactable component to make it can be grabbed interactively. So okay, let's try out this function. Oh, here. So I'm using my VR right now. So I just use the right controller to grab it. Yeah, it's really simple, and I can move it freely. Now the second part is to do a teleportation field. As you can see right now, I've already do cube, and I resize it to make it really looks like a floor. So, and then you need to firstly check if it has a function called box collider, and then we can add a function called teleportation anchor. We will switch the interaction layer max to teleport, and then we need to change the mesh orientation into target up and forward. So, and then we duplicate this forward. Okay, then we enter the play mode to see if it makes sense. Like now, I use this rotation button, or this rotation controller, and I click forward, and I've already on this pad. Then I move forward again. Yep. And then I move forward again, and I've already in here. Then let's try again. Oh yeah, it makes sense, right? Hopefully. So that's the end of the second part, and the third part is to create a spatial UI. Firstly, we still need to create a UI button here, and resize the canvas. Well, firstly, we set the render workspace, and then we can change its position and size, and then we add track device graphic recaster, and then we go to the event system to check XR UI in here, and enable XR input, and then we go to the XR origin to add a XR ray interactor and enable UI interaction. Okay, now let's try to click it. Also, now I entered our play mode. So now if I clicked this button with my controller, it will become green, and which means we clicked it successfully. So after all these 3 parts, I also learned some extra stuff this week. So which is because I've already done the third part, which is to create a UI button. like the first week. So I'm thinking about if I can use that button to add some interaction, like to make a character move. So yeah, kind of the same topic, but this week I also use the VR core this template to do it. Here we go. So firstly, I still import the basic character. I also imported some character animations. Then we need to create some basic components of the whole procedure. So I created a folder called RAM, and then I create a animator controller called Ramacha, and inside this animator controller, I import two different animation. The first one is idle, the second one is read. So after that, I add like parameters. So the name is read trigger, because like when you enter the game, the default of this character is its idle animation, and if you wanna change its animation, you need to touch a button and it will change into the greeting one. So about the transition, I add a condition which is our read trigger. So after that, I also created a new C# script, which is to touch the button and the character will change its animation. The next step is to connect the new script with the character and the button. So firstly, I go to the character part. I add this new script. The name is Ramacha controller, and I change the animator into the Ramacha default. And and then I go to the button part. Also this onClick, and I drag the character model here. And then in this part, we chose our new script and play grid, which is his second movement, his second animation. So now I think it's almost done. It looks very easy, but I tried a lot of times. Okay, here we go, let's try it. Okay, now as you can see, I've already entered. So now he is doing his idle animation. And if we click the grid, oh, and he will say hi. It's really fun though. I mean, when you see it in the VR, it's so real. And actually, but I think I still have some issues with like I think the first person player, the view could be higher. So I will probably figure that out in the future. Okay, so that's all for this week's video. This week is quite challenging, but also very insightful and meaningful, because although it's my first week learning VR game development, I still learn a lot, and I kind of be more familiar with all the VR development procedure. So, and I think the interaction in the VR core system will be easier than the 3D one. This is just my own feeling, because in the first week we need to do a lot of script, but if you're in the VR template, the Unity has a lot of interaction, and you can just simply choose some buttons or some functions, and you can make a object interactable. This will be very helpful when we really develop a VR game in the future. So I'm super excited to learn something new next week. See you!